This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
My countrymen and my friends, I had hoped against hope that some miracle would prevent a devastating war and bring to an end the invasion.
This most serious threat World Wrestling Federation has ever known.
The long-term future of sports entertainment could change forever.
A succession of actual wars have shaken the entire world and have threatened to bring on the gigantic conflict, which is today, unhappily, a fact.
No force of nature and no act of God could stop this invasion from happening.
I have said not once but many times that I have seen war and that I hate war.
This is our last chance.
There's no going back. There is no tomorrow. They want to finish us off.
Feel this moment for the rest of your life.
This war is only half over, and it could damn well be lost.
We're laying it all on the line.
Nothing can stop the WCW and ECW.
Austin is going to lead us into invasion.
Lift up your heart. All will come right.
We will kick WCW and ECW's.
No WWF superstar is going to deny us from our destiny.
Dad, the sports entertainment.
I have seen war and I hate war.
Place to Be Nation, welcome back to another episode of Nation Invasion. I'm your host, James Gruenberg, and tonight we are going to be reviewing Raw from October 29th, 2001, and SmackDown from November 1st, 2001. I am not alone. I have with me my guest here. He is Mr. Jeremy Nichols. Jeremy, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic, my friend. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Jeremy, going back and watching this Monday Night Raw, it felt like we talked about this off air, but we'll talk about it. It felt like there was more drama and like very soap opera-y Raw here tonight. Like it took a lot of the action away from the wrestling because of what was going to transpire, mostly at the end, but there was like a whole big mystery unraveled here tonight.
Yeah, they spent a good amount, and I think I mentioned this, but it seemed to me, and I didn't do the actual math, but if somebody wants to and post it in the comments, but it seemed to me that they did more backstage and promo stuff than actual wrestling. But like you said, it kind of makes sense because of what they're building to for the end of the night, at least on Raw. And also, the more I thought about it, I mean, we're still a few weeks out from Survivor Series, right? So we got about 3 weeks or so. So they gotta fill some stuff in, you know, like what was it? No Mercy was way too early in October. Like it should have been later in the month, but it was so early that they had this. Well, what would you say, 6 to 8 weeks between No Mercy and Survivor Series or so? I mean, it's quite a bit. Yeah. I mean, it's quite a few weeks. They gotta do something. You know, they can't jump to anything too quickly, right? Because they'll run out of content before they get to the pay-per-view. So, but yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right about this one.
Yeah, and it does feel like we're still in October. Luckily, the SmackDown changes to November, but I feel like we've been in October for a while now.
Yeah, it seems like we just gotta because I think it's because we're so used to typically having the pay-per-views towards the end of the month, right? So when you have it at the beginning of the month, it throws your whole timing off because you're like, okay, in 3 to 4 weeks we'll have another one. Nope, it's gonna be a little longer now, you know.
And the announcement of what's going to take place at Survivor Series was last week, so that would be the 22nd of October too. So it's like you're starting to build it, but it's like, oh snap, we still have time until November 18th, which is going to be when Survivor Series is on pay-per-view.
it almost seemed like at first when we watched that episode and I was sitting there watching, I'm thinking, when are they going to announce the main event for Survivor Series, right? And they kind of they stretched it out over the Raw and the SmackDown, you know, and really trying to get to what it was. But then I thought, man, like maybe they introduced it or they announced it too soon. Maybe they should have waited another week just to have a little bit more, because now it's like, okay, we've announced it, but we still have so long to go before the payoff happens.
Yeah, and I think that it sort of comes up lame, as we'll get into why it comes up lame here
Yeah.
as well, because not only do you just have Vince announcing it, but you don't even have the Alliance make an announcement on who their 5 are, as we'll see that on SmackDown too. But let's get into it here tonight. This is Raw from October 29th, 2001. We're live in Louisville, Kentucky. Vince McMahon and the WWF roster come out. Vince says that the WWF will wipe away the Alliance off the face of the earth, and that line will be used on the promos for Survivor Series going into it. I remember that line in particular. The World Wrestling Federation will wipe the Alliance off the face of this earth, Jeremy.
And winner take all. You hear that a lot. Winner take all. Winner take all.
Yep. He discusses what happened to Linda on SmackDown, and then he tells Shane McMahon to be worried about not only be worried about Survivor Series, but also worried about his street fight here tonight. And then he introduces his 5 competitors who will be taking on the Alliance in this winner-take-all match. So not even proposed last week that it will be a 5-on-5 match. Vince McMahon just introduces 5, and Shane's like, okay, well, I'll see you in a 5 versus 5 match, basically, here tonight, Jeremy. So this is where I think it kind of comes up lame, because it's like, oh, well, nobody said what kind of a match is going to be, and Vince is like, oh, I'm just going to introduce you to my 5 superstars.
Yeah, no build to it at all. Like, no, like, okay. Or people like, hey, I want to be on the team. Like, you could have stretched that out for a week or two, right? Maybe having qualifying matches, or have people like, this is why I should be on the team. No, instead it's like Vince is like, yep, here's my guys. Boom, 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 boom. And that's it. Like, no build up at all. Just right there.
Yep. He introduces The Undertaker, Kane, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, and The Rock. So those are going to be the 5 WWF competitors competing in the winner-take-all match at Survivor Series. Stephanie McMahon comes out. Steph says her and Shane are clever to outsmart her dad and mom. Then we see a recap of Stephanie slapping Linda. Stephanie dedicates the street fight to her mom, and then out comes Shane. Yeah, so Steph being a little funny there, like dedicating the street fight to Linda there, Jeremy.
I thought it was apropos that Stephanie would be the one dedicating, even though she's not in the match, right? Like, that's like the perfect heel thing to do. I'm not in the match, but I'm going to dedicate it, for somebody else.
Yep. And then Shane comes out, says he will tear his father apart in the street fight here tonight. But he says that a member of the WWF will defect to the Alliance. Shane then says that he sees that person right now. So as they're looking on, all the members of Team WWF are looking on as well. And not only the members of the 5 elimination members, but they're also like the whole like locker rooms looking at each other at ringside as well. Spoiler, it's not Funaki.
Yeah, I thought, like, okay, so we know what our storyline angle of the night's going to be, but I'm like, damn, they could have stretched that out too. You could have got another week out of that, But
yeah, just wait until the next week too. They're getting very desperate. Like it's just desperation to like try and save what little is left of this storyline here. God, I wish it was. I mean, why couldn't Scotty 2 Hottie join? Do the worm for the alliance, Scotty. Yeah, I think that would have been cool. Shane and Steph then go to Stone Cold's locker room. They discuss who is joining the alliance. Stone Cold's watch says it's time to convince his ass. Deborah tries to get Stone Cold to tell her who's joining, but Stone Cold does not even tell Deborah.
Yeah, he's keeping it all to himself, and I love the whole watch thing that he keeps doing. I love it. It's he only does it during this time. Like he doesn't do it before or after the storyline, so it just makes it even funnier when he does it. It's great seeing this badass put the watch up to his ear and listen to it. It's great.
Yeah. So now we have a WWF Intercontinental title match. It is Rob Van Dam versus Edge. Drop kick to Van Dam's head, a flapjack by Edge, spinning heel kick by RVD, frog splash off the apron to Edge, diving heel kick by RVD, standing moonsault by RVD, bulldog by Edge, split leg and moonsault countered by Edge, rolling thunder by RVD, multiple falls by both men, spear by Edge for a 2 count. RVD misses the 5-star frog splash, and then an execution by Edge to retain the Intercontinental title. For this matchup, I went 2.5, Jeremy. So it's like leaning towards 3, but just like 2.5. It was impressive by both guys here.
I did 2.5 as well. I liked the match. It was very quick at 5:26. They didn't waste any motion. The only thing I don't get about this decision is RVD loses clean. And he's just had a lot of high profile wins, like big wins, and here he just he loses. Like Edge could use the win, sure. But he just won the IC title. So, why put it on the line and then have that definitive of a clean finish, right? It doesn't necessarily kill the momentum, but it potentially risks killing the momentum that RVD had built up, because okay, you can beat this guy and this guy, the WWF's top guys, and then Edge beats you clean in the middle of the ring. It didn't make any booking sense to me. And as much as I hate non-finishes or DQs, I think that would have made more sense instead of having either guy take the pin. But that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to give RVD 2 titles. He still holds the hardcore title, and then
why even put the belt on the line? Just have it be a non-title match. You can do champion and champion without a title on the line. There's no rule that says someone's belt has to be on the line.
Yeah, it's not like you're really hyping this one up like, oh, don't miss Raw, the Intercontinental title's on the line. So you could have just given them this matchup to say, oh, well, these 2 guys are warriors for their teams, the Alliance, Rob Van Dam and Edge for the WWF. But just trying to bring in some hype here as we get to Survivor Series.
You know what they could have done instead of a title match is be like, whoever wins gets to be on their team for Survivor Series. That would have made some sense, Yeah,
I know. It's so weird. Stone Cold is backstage talking trash about Rob Van Dam. Taz, of all people, walks in and tries to get Austin to tell him who is jumping to the Alliance. Austin's like, oh, I don't want to tell you. He's like, oh, okay, I guess he'll tell me later then. And Taz is such a goof here again.
He's an idiot.
Trying to make Austin his best buddy.
I do like it when Taz touches Austin and Austin goes, no touch. he didn't say, don't touch me. He just goes, no touch. It's just a weird way to say it. But it's as dumb as Taz comes across, why would Austin ever tell Taz at this point, right? But he still tries. Like you said, he's a goof. He's a geek. The sad thing is, to me, this is the best thing they've done with Taz in the last year, because they really killed his momentum in 2000, and most of 2001 he was just a non-factor. at least this gives him something to do. But again, he don't look very good with this, you know.
No, and again, like Taz's time is running out in the wrestling ring. He's not like he's wrestling; they're just having to do backstage segments here.
Yeah, and it seemed like, and it was last episode of SmackDown he did commentary, right? So it seemed like they were kind of testing the waters to see if he could be more than just this wrestler, right? That he had some character, that he could work with stuff, you know, be the butt of the joke and stuff like that. So it seems like they were. Oh, go ahead.
He actually wrestled Al Snow. He lost to Al Snow.
Yeah, remember talking about how he lost? Like, what? That doesn't even make sense.
But it didn't make sense, like, if he won either. It's like, oh, wow, you beat Al Snow. That really shows you're an Alliance player as well, too.
Main event Survivor Series right there.
Yep. So here's an interesting segment, but not really interesting, but like who's involved. The APA I get, but they're playing cards and they have Perry Saturn with them, who we haven't seen in a while here. Not since Unforgiven, when he beat Raven to redeem Moppy getting killed in the wood chipper. Perry Saturn is playing cards. He says, "Go fish." Bradshaw then brings up that Farouk was a former WCW champion. He's like, yeah, but oh, hell no, I ain't going back, man.
I think he says, don't joke like that.
Yeah, he's like, don't joke about that. And then Teddy Long walks in and says Chris Jericho is organizing a WWF meeting. Jericho, of all people.
It seems like he's like, okay, I'm the world champion. I'm gonna take control and I'm gonna lead the team, right? Again, Vince already announced it, so it kind of kills that whole idea. But this could have been perfect had Vince not announced anything. Like, at least Jericho's, you know, I'm stepping up and gonna be the leader of the locker room kind of thing.
Yep. Now we have a mixed tag match. It is the Hurricane and Mighty Molly versus Tajiri and Tori Wilson. So we're getting this relationship thing with Tori and Tajiri here. And it's not Spike and Molly anymore. It's the Hurricane and Molly.
Which I guess when you look at Hurricane and Molly, they probably should have just done that the whole time, right? I mean,
yeah. Stiff kick by Tajiri. Tajiri spins Molly. Kick to Tajiri's back. Neck breaker by Hurricane. Another hard shot by Tajiri. Tori throws Molly. Handspring elbow to Molly, but that was terrible by Tori. Yeah. Clothesline to Tori. Tarantula to Hurricane. Molly rolls up Tori for the win, surprisingly. For this matchup, I gave it a 1.5 stars. It was okay, but not a whole lot from Tori Wilson. Again, that really bad handspring elbow. It was fine. A lot of dominance also by Tajiri too, but it's a 1.5 stars.
Yeah, I gave it a 1.5 as well. I mean, it's a quick match. It only went 2:38, so it's not like it's offensive. But is it just me, or did Tori? She just never seemed to get it in the ring, right? I mean, she did well with promos and backstage stuff, you know, being a character, but when it came to in-ring work, she just never got it. I don't know what and she was working. It's not like she was working with bad people, because Molly Holly's a great wrestler, right? It's just, you'd think she'd pick something up through osmosis, but she just didn't. It was all just bad, you know? It's really weird.
Yeah, I mean, Molly at least got some training from Macho Man back in WCW. Yeah. But Tori really didn't get a lot of training from, like, Kevin Nash or anybody. She was just eye candy, and yeah.
I just imagine her doing, like, the Kevin Nash hair flip and checking the wrist tape, you know, the glove or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll show you what to do.
Yeah. Chris Jericho gets the attention of the WWF. Chris Jericho says he will not work for WCW and ECW. He did work there, and he hated working there too. So he's not going to go back to WCW and ECW. Jericho tells the traitor to show his face, and The Rock comes into the locker room. Jericho says he's the leader now that he beat The Rock for the WCW title. Rock says, "Hold my belt, Spike," and then Rock says he was winning big ones while Jericho was getting his ass kicked by Juventud Guerrera in WCW.
Yeah. I thought that was great. That was such a great line.
Rock says no one is stupid enough to jump ship. Rock says that the meeting is over. So Jericho trying to be a goof, thinking, "Oh, I'm going to be the leader now that I've now that I have the WCW title." It's like you just got the crab shoved down your throat, Jericho.
Yeah, they geeked him out, and all it took was really he was fine up until Rock said about Juventud Guerrera. When he name dropped him, it killed Jericho right there, because it's like you just took a shit on the world champions fucking face, man. Like, oh my god, come on. But I do like that, even though Jericho's got the title and him and Rock are supposed to work together, they're still going at each other, right? Like, they want to work together for the greater good, but they still got their own issues. So it's still building there. So I do like that. But no, you're absolutely right. Right? Yeah, he got goofed out big time.
Stone Cold is backstage. He says the WWF will never figure out who is joining the alliance. Regal comes into the locker room, asking Stone Cold to tell him who is joining the alliance. Austin pumps up Regal for his match versus Kurt Angle and tells Regal to tell Kurt Angle that Stone Cold wants to see him before his match with Regal. So Stone Cold wants to talk to Kurt Angle, Jeremy.
Yeah, nothing odd about that, right? I mean, that's just, and what killed me about this this little segment, it's like, as soon as they said Angle against Regal, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good. And then he's like, I want to see Angle, and I'm like, cool, you just killed the mystery the whole night. That's great.
Oh gee, yeah, I guess. I mean, it's like hardy har at the end here.
Yeah.
Undertaker and Kane are discussing their tag match with the Dudley Boys. Jericho barges in and starts yelling at both men. Jericho thinks Kane will jump to the alliance. Of all people, Kane, really.
Yeah, like that's real. I mean, at that point, I'd be like, you know what? Go ahead, because we know we can kick the crap out of you. So you join. You go ahead, buddy.
Yep. And then Diamond Dallas Page comes to the ring. Page says he knows who is joining the alliance. Says he is a huge superstar. DDP says it's the Big Show. DDP says the WWF said Show is out of shape and his friends are in the alliance. Big Show comes out. He choke slams DDP. So another goof segment here by Diamond Dallas Page. First he tried getting Kane to join the alliance last week, and now he tried the Big Show.
I do like that it's so much better than the stalker angle, right? And he sells it so sincerely, because like you said, he goes, Big Show, you're overweight and out of shape, but that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing, because now you know your friends are in the alliance. Like, okay, he's got a point.
Yeah.
But again, you would think DDP would be one of the leaders of the alliance, right? I mean, he's a big time WCW guy. He was like a homegrown star, but he's just out here getting choke slammed every week. That's all he's good for at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you could have been like, remember that match we had at Starrcade 1998, and we blew the roof off of it.
Like, I went toe to toe with Goldberg. I should be leading the team. Nope.
Yeah, no. One thing I will bring up too. The commentary was hilarious. You have Paul Heyman being like, maybe after you get fired by the Alliance, we can have Tony Schiavone come out.
Like,
Say
damn.
Schiavone. And then Paul Heyman's like, maybe we can get Gordon Soley. And JR's like, God bless that man.
We're getting a lot of good name drops of people that aren't there tonight.
Gordon
they're doing pretty good.
Soley, yeah, Gordon Soley's coming back. Oh man, if only. I mean, like Paul Heyman randomly dropping like Schiavone. It's like you could have said Joey Styles, who had more of a chance than Schiavone did, since he's always said Kevin Dunn never wanted Schiavone.
Yeah. I do love that, like, as soon as this alliance started, the storyline started, I always thought Paul Heyman was good on commentary, but he got so much better when it was the alliance, right? Because he could poke and prod at JR, and he kind of reminds me of Heenan, like just able to just get jabs in here and there. And JR's like Monsoon plays off him perfectly, they really hit their stride at this point on commentary. It was great.
I mean, the funniest, ridiculous line ever is when Bobby said, "Oh, he jumped through the window." Monsoon's like, "Are you kidding me?" Yeah, exactly.
That or when in the 92 Rumble, when he's like, "Piper, I'll never say nothing bad. It's a kilt. It's not a skirt." And then Piper hits Flair and he's like, "You skirt wearing jerk." He totally turns back on him. Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah. The Vince McMahon is backstage with Kurt Angle, and they talk. Vince says he is confident in Kurt Angle being regal. So Kurt says Stone Cold wants to have a meeting with Kurt here tonight. Vince thinks Angle is going to jump ship, and Angle's like, "No, it's not me, Vince. I promise it's not me."
Yeah.
Vince tells Kurt to talk with Austin, but bring a weapon here. So he hits him, he gives him a 2x4. Jeremy,
he's channeling the Jim Duggan school of weaponry. Yeah, here's a board. I do like that. Vince looks at Angle like Vince says, "Don't trust him," and gives him this look, and Angle goes, "Don't look at me like that." It's like I'll turn you into a human pretzel.
Mm-hmm. Now we have a WWF Tag Team title match. It's Booker T and Test versus The Rock and Chris Jericho. Rock and Booker start. Clothesline to Booker. Chops to Booker. Missile dropkick by Y2J. Test hits Jericho from behind. Spinebuster by Booker T. Clothesline by Test. Full Nelson slam by Test. Flapjack to Booker by Y2J. Ted's The Rock and Test. Clothesline by Rock. DDT to Test. And then Jericho spinebuster to Test. Bulldog to Rock and a breakdown by Jericho. Jericho breaks up a pin. Breakdown to Test. Rock bottom to Y2J. Rock breaks up a pin by Test. Sidekick to Test. Walls of Jericho to Test for the win. 2.5. Oh, was that The Rock did it was a breakdown both to The Rock by Jericho, and he breaks up a pin, and then The Rock gives Jericho a rock bottom, and then he breaks up a pin as well. So Jericho and The Rock going back and forth.
It's like they couldn't decide who's going to get their shit in and get the win, right? They're that competitive that even though they're the champions, they got to get their shit in, right?
Yeah. I gave it 2.5, Jeremy. It was fine. A little gaga towards the end with Jericho hitting the breakdown, The Rock, and then The Rock hitting the rock bottom, and it's like drama. 2.5 for me.
I did 2.5 as well. Some of the gaga I didn't appreciate. I do like Rock and Jericho going at it, a little bit. The one thing that I did like is that to me, Booker T and Test, they didn't look. I don't think they looked weak here, right? Even in defeat, because they brought it, right, and they were hitting their moves too, and they were staying on top of them. And I kind of watching this match, it's like Booker T and Test weren't that bad of a team like TNT. I think that they should have went with that for a little while, But yeah, no, I went 2.5 out of 5. There we go. I'll get it out there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so it looks like the WWF Tag Team Champions cannot get along going into Survivor Series.
Which really puts, and also, not only does it put a wrench into the Monkey Works of Survivor Series, but they got to defend those titles, right? So now, like, how bad, like, what's more important? Keeping the titles or beating up the guy that you don't like, But he's your partner. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Kurt goes into Austin's locker room with a 2x4. Stone Cold says Angle can trust him.
Yeah.
And Austin asks Kurt Angle to join the alliance. Angle tells Austin to go to hell. And then Michael Cole talks to The Rock. Says that Angle said he would Michael Cole informs The Rock, Kurt Angle said he would join the alliance. So Michael Cole, I don't know if he was getting bad information or not, but he ratted Kurt Angle out.
Yeah, and I don't get it, because I went back and rewatched the little segment with Kurt and Austin. I'm like, did I miss something that Michael Cole's saying this, or is he just talking out of his rear end? But no, he's just talking out of his rear end. I was like, he didn't say that at all. Like, you're kind of stirring the pot here, Cole. What the heck? But yeah. I do like that The Rock is juggling a lot here, right? He's got to make sure he keeps the tag titles. He's trying to defend the WWF team overall. He's trying to win back the WCW World title. Now he's dealing with Angle possibly defecting and Jericho. That's like 5 different things at once. He's got a lot going on for a guy that, was gone most of the year until SummerSlam. But it's great because it's not just a one-dimensional, I'm only focused on this one thing, right? It makes it more interesting, and it opens up a lot of avenues of what could happen. So I did like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also before we go on, I also felt at the end of this that the team WWF seems like it doesn't have a clear-cut leader even now, but yet the Alliance does in Austin, right? Which I think is playing into the Alliance's hands. That Team WWF, like, they're together, but ain't nobody stepped up to be the leader yet, and they're all kind of fighting with each other. So a little bit of intrigue there.
And it's not like Vince said, oh, the captain of Team WWF is The Rock.
Yeah. It's like, okay, somebody's got to step up, and who's it going to be? I'm not going to pick, so someone's got to do it, right?
The Alliance, ever since Invasion, they were just like, you could be the leader, Stone Cold. We don't care. We'll back off. You tell us what to do.
Yeah, and like we talked last episode, Austin missed that Raw, and they lost 4 titles? They lost almost every match. It's like, so yeah, clearly Austin is the leader, and he's the brains of the outfit.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so now we have a Divas match here. It is Stacy Keibler versus Lita. Clothesline to Stacy and a sidewalk slam. Kicks to Lita. Suplex to Stacy. Lita tosses Stacy to the outside. Lita dives to the security wall and misses completely. Matt accidentally elbows Lita. Twist of fate to Stacy for the win. For this matchup, I went a half a star. And then Matt and Lita are arguing backstage. This was so bad. It's a half a star.
Yeah, I did a half out of 5 as well. I mean, I was shocked that Lita got the win, because when Matt elbowed her, I was like, yep, that's it. She's gonna lose. And this match was 2 minutes and 46 seconds long. They could have shaved off 1 minute and 46. It would have been fine. This almost didn't even need to be a match. This just could have been a segment, like an in-ring or a backstage segment, really. it's just like it was not good. Stacy's another one who just did not get it in the ring. Like all the people, and she worked with some top guys, like a lot of top people and top guys and gals, and just never picked up on it. It's just amazing how you never learn how to do even the most basic of moves.
I know, hanging out with David Flair didn't really get you high on the ring, high on the totem pole.
Hey, he was a champion. He could have taught her something.
Yeah. Rock is in Kurt Angle's locker room. Rock is mad at Angle. He asks what Angle was doing in Austin's locker room. Rock tells Angle to never question the Rock's loyalty. And then we have Mick Foley, who's at WWF New York. Foley says Rock and Jericho wanted to take on Test and Booker T. And he's like, yeah, I wanted to see what they could do. And obviously, they can't get along and stuff like that, too. So 2 weird segments, Jeremy. Well, not weird, but again, more Gaga backstage.
I don't know that we needed the whole Rock going into Angle's locker room because it didn't solve or push anything. It didn't. Foley in New York, I think that was more of just to get WWF New York on screen. What'd he say? Foley says that he and Regal agreed that if the WWF tag belts were on the line, the WCW tag belts would be on the line as well. It's just, I don't know. Like, I like that Foley and Regal are agreeing on certain things because it's almost like 2 generals in a war where they agree to certain, rules of engagement.
Yep.
And it makes sense to make things even Steven, But yeah, it was we just didn't need Rock and Angle back there. It didn't solve anything, didn't push anything. So I'm with you. It did feel kind of weird.
Yeah. It's just that it's like, well, now we're to believe that the Rock's loyalty will never sway.
Yeah.
With that heartfelt pounding speech the Rock gave. Now we have a WCW US title match. It is William Regal versus Kurt Angle.
I was excited for this one. I thought, man, this is going to be a good match right here.
Clotheslines by Angle. Regal throws Angle into the ropes. Backdrop to Regal. Knee to Angle's face by Regal. Regal carries Angle. Fireman's carry to Regal. German suplexes to Regal. Ankle lock to Regal for the win. For this matchup, Jeremy, I mean, I might be hitting low on it, but I kind of enjoyed it. 2 stars. Here's why. I think we didn't get to see the best of Regal versus Kurt Angle because this seemed like it was a little rushed for like time consumption here. I don't feel like we saw the best out of these 2, so I gave it 2 stars. It's not like that match last week with Rhino. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this match went 325. I went 2.5 because it was a great little match. I feel like they could have taken that Lita Stacy Keyboard match, that 246, and given it to these 2 guys. Like you said, like it was rushed and they never really got into second gear. But I will say this: no rest holds, no wasted movements, pure action from start to finish. And it just makes me want to see these 2 guys. Give them 10 minutes, give them 15. I want to see what they could do. But I think the real shame is that this didn't get any kind of hype, and then it just didn't get but 325. Like you can't, these guys are awesome, right? But at 3 minutes, 25 seconds, you're not going to get that much great stuff out there,
Mm-hmm. Undertaker and Vince are backstage. Vince wishes Undertaker good luck in his WCW Tag Team title match with Kane versus the Dudley Boys. Taker calls bull on Vince, or BS basically. Taker says Vince thinks one of them will jump to the alliance. So not only does Jericho think that one of the Brothers of Destruction will jump to the alliance, but also Vince apparently does as well.
Which to me, that makes 0 sense. The Undertaker's been an institution in the WWF for 11 years at this point. Never jumped. You never heard any backstage stuff about him. He's the Undertaker. Like it's almost insulting that they would be like, maybe the Undertaker. No, what are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. WCW tag team title match now. Well, it is the Dudley Boys versus the Brothers of Destruction. Kane and Devon start. Sidewalk slam to Devon. Taker goes to work on Devon. Bubba pulls Taker out and starts tosses him into the steps. Clothesline to Bubba. Double clothesline to the Dudley Boys. Backdrop to Taker. DDT by Taker. Tag to Kane and Devon. Big boot to Devon. Flying clothesline by Kane. Choke slam to Devon. Bubba hits Kane with a tag title. Old school, but Kane goes into the rope and knocks Undertaker off the rope. A 3D to Kane for the win. For this matchup, I gave it 2 1/4. I like how the Dudley Boys got the finish here. They knock Undertaker over and they set up Kane for the 3D and retained the WCW titles. 2 1/4, Jeremy.
I went 2.5 out of 5. I thought it was good. I thought Team 3D looked strong going against Taker and Kane when they could have just made them look like geeks. And also it builds the WCW Tag Championship. It makes it a little more important. And I think we mentioned it. I may have mentioned on the last episode. Boy, the 3D was it probably still is the most protected finisher. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, I don't know that anyone's ever kicked out of it. So when they went into this match, I'm thinking they either have to pin Kane or it's going to be a Gaga finish. And sure enough, they pinned Kane. So not only did it make him look good, in winning, but also it's like, I think I want them on the Alliance team for Survivor Series. Like, why wouldn't you want them? They just put down Kane and the Undertaker, Yeah. I thought it was only 4:56. But I thought that was the perfect amount of time. Like, I don't think they needed any more than that. Because after a while, it becomes real, like they got to go to the outside a lot and everything kind of plods along because Kane and Taker are bigger guys. But they did good work here in just a shade under 5 minutes. So good stuff from both teams.
If you look back at the invasion match, like who was on the alliance for them, no one except Booker T has a spot on the main event team elimination team except for Booker at Survivor Series.
Yeah. It ends up looking more like Team WWF against Team WWF at Survivor Series than anything else.
Yes, as we'll get into it. But now, Jeremy, we are at our main event. It is a street fight. It is Shane McMahon versus Vince McMahon, father versus son, the rematch from WrestleMania 17. Punches by Vince. Vince chokes Shane. Vince hits Shane with a sign. Shane goes into the steps and ring post. Vince chokes Shane out with a cord. Shane low blows Vince. Trash can lid shots by Shane. Elbows to Vince. And then trash can shots to Vince. Shane misses a shooting star press onto the trash can. Kendo stick shots to Shane. Vince clothesline Shane to the outside. Trash lid shots to Vince and a monitor shot. Shane lands the elbow, crashing into the table with Vince. At WrestleMania 17, he missed that elbow.
Yep.
They're doing it backwards here. Vince kicks out. Shane hits Vince with a trash can. Vince counters the dive that Shane does and hits Shane in the knees with the trash can into Shane. Then Test and Booker T beat up Vince, only to get taken out by The Undertaker and Kane. Last ride to Booker T, Regal low blows Taker. Rock bottom to Regal by The Rock. And then Stone Cold comes out. He gives a stunner to The Rock. Kurt Angle then comes out of a steel chair, but then Jericho runs in and he gets stopped by the chair. So Kurt Angle hits Chris Jericho with a steel chair, and then he starts hitting everybody else with a chair. And then Stone Cold stuns Vince McMahon, and Shane gets the pin. So now Kurt Angle is a member of the Alliance, Jeremy. Now I have one question. First off, I gave this matchup 2 3/4. Not the same as their WrestleMania 17 street fight, but it was good. Like, it was good to see them get back in the street fight. A lot of interference at the end here, only to figure out who was joining the Alliance, and it's Kurt Angle. Do you think this would have worked better if Chris Jericho was joining the Alliance?
I think it would have made more sense because he was a WCW and an ECW guy. And yeah, he said he hated being in WCW, but I don't recall him hating on being in ECW, right? So, like, to me, it almost seems like, okay, Kurt turns here. Like, why? You just got done fighting Austin for the last 2.5 months. Like, and not just fighting, like fighting for your life against this guy, like, why would you suddenly turn now? And I don't know. I think it would have made more sense for Jericho. I think it would have worked better. But I went 3 out of 5 for this. I thought this was a great match. Obviously, it's not anything like their WrestleMania match, but they got plenty of weapons, great high spots. No slowdown. To me, the run-ins. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the Gaga stuff, but it made sense here for everyone to come out, right? I mean, if you're going to have everybody come out and interact, it would be the main event at the end of the show. I don't think Kurt turning was shocking, though. I don't remember it being shocking back then, and I still didn't feel like it was shocking now. It just seems like, what? That didn't make any sense, but,
I mean, I think everyone would have called it if Jericho went because, like, he knows, like, that he was showing signs of turning with him hitting the Rock and them brawling everywhere. But Jericho can make a case that, he wants to prove that he is the best, and, he's not going to let the Rock get in his in the way of his own ego. I think the ego part could have really played a heavy part in Jericho joining the Alliance.
Yeah, like he joins, he's got the WCW title, like that kind of makes sense, and like he's gonna get respect one way or the other, right? He's gonna step up, and not because it's almost like his WCW World Title run is a precursor to like when Punk won the title in 2008 or when Ray won it in 2006, where you're the champion, but we kind of don't take you seriously, kind of a thing. This would have been a perfect opportunity for Jericho to be taken seriously.
As the show closes, Austin, Angle, and Shane celebrate. So Kurt Angle is now part of the Alliance.
I thought it was a good episode of Raw. Even though there was less in-ring action, I wasn't bored watching it at all. And I watched it all in one go. I didn't have to take breaks or anything. And what I also liked, and you and I talked about this last episode, excuse me, that there was less title matches, which means that the matches and the titles meant more when they were on the line, right? Yeah. Not every match had to be a title match. So at least now people, things can simmer. The champions hold on to it for a little while longer. And you're not just like, oh, this is a title match. Oh, that's a title match. Oh, you get a title match. You get a title match. Everyone gets a title match. So I like the episode tonight. I gave it an overall rating of 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I would be there with you. I thought it was just like way too much like backstage drama, and again, you're like really digging to keep this invasion storyline alive with people jumping ship now.
Yeah, that was one thing I was concerned was rewatching it again. And I remember having a concern back in the day was that how many people are going to jump back and forth now, right? Like we've got Angle jumping. Oh God, who's going to jump next? And then I start thinking, the Big Show likes to go back and forth between heel and face. So we may see him turn once or twice before this whole thing's over with.
I know Christian joined the alliance. Tess
Yeah.
joined the alliance. Again,
Regal.
why couldn't it have been Scotty Too Hotty? Yep, Regal.
Yep.
Regal joined the alliance. And one more thing too, Jeremy, before we get into SmackDown, do you find it weird when Shane says, I'm the owner of WCW on the microphone? I find it weird. It was cool in March and in July, but it's like November, it might be a little too late to be saying you still own WCW.
Yeah, and well, like he says that, but they're called the Alliance. Like,
Yep.
so, like, but I also this might sound dumb, but I think it's the way he says, like, he physically says it. He's like Team WCW. Like the way he says WCW just sounds odd anyway, right? But and that's the one thing. Like, I understood the Alliance, it's ECW and WCW, but I would have rather them say, I honestly would have rather keep them separate and have just all three companies. But when you say I'm the leader, I'm the owner of WCW, but my team is called the Alliance, like, why? Like, wouldn't it WCW have bought ECW? So now it would just all be WCW? I mean, or WCWE or WCWCW? I don't know. Make a marriage of all the acronyms there.
I know, but I guess not. But again, yeah, they're still saying, oh, I own WCW and I'm the owner of ECW. Well, Jeremy, let's dive into SmackDown here. This is SmackDown from November 1st, 2001. We're live in Cincinnati. A recap of Raw and Kurt Angle going to the Alliance. And we kick off with a rematch from Monday Night Raw. It is a WWF Tag Team title match. It is The Rock and Chris Jericho versus Tess and Booker T again.
This was on my 19th birthday, because my birthday is November 1st. So I remember where I was. Yeah, that was night. I turned 19 that day.
Nice.
Which just means that I'm old now.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm turning 43 this year.
Punches by Tess, spinning heel kick to Tess. Back suplex by Jericho, clothesline by Tess, hip toss to Booker, tag to the Rock, clothesline by Rock. Booker sends Rock to the outside. Booker sends Rock into the announcer's table. Sidewalk slam to Rock by Tess. Chops by both Rock and Booker. Tess breaks up the sharpshooter. Tag to Jericho and Tess. Neckbreaker to Tess. DDT to Tess by Rock. Jericho drop kicks Rock by accident. And a big boot by Tess for the win. And we have new WWF Tag Team Champions. So both tag team titles are in the camp of the Alliance, the WWF and the WCW titles.
I at this point, as I'm watching, I decided to call him Tab for Test and Booker. I thought this was a great match. It didn't have any slowdown, and it really showed, like I said about Raw, that Booker and Test knew what they were doing. They had a little bad luck, but I liked this match more than I liked their Raw match, which I gave a 2.5. This one I'm giving it a 3 because there was really no Gaga, and we got a title change. So I'm like, cool. That, and also Rock and Jericho, they didn't need the tag titles, get them off them, let them deal with the WCW world title, but big win for Tab.
Yeah, I think it was just like they only needed it for that 1 week and a half. Like, oh, we have a lot of titles coming back to the WWF, but again, we're in the era of titles flip-flopping. Just wait. So Jericho and The Rock fight, a rock bottom to Jericho, and then another rock bottom to Jericho. So again, The Rock and Jericho can't get along, as Michael Cole likes to point out.
Finally, the Mega Powers exploded. They finally went at it.
The ego powers have exploded. Vince McMahon is backstage telling Rock to calm down. Vince says the Alliance has named its 5 men in the elimination match. Problem is, Shane McMahon never said who was in the main event elimination match. Vince just says it on his own. It's Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, Rob Van Dam, Booker T, and now Shane McMahon himself. Wow, I don't even know. I think Shane McMahon announced who was in the Invasion matchup, but he does not announce who's in his Survivor Series team. Jeremy, Vince just says it on a whim.
Yeah, that's so odd to me that Vince is the one who did it. Like, you couldn't do a little backstage thing with Shane saying that. You couldn't. Why couldn't you stretch it out? And every episode announce a new team member. Like, good God, man, build up the excitement here. Instead they're banking on people going, oh man, I can't wait to see these 10 guys square off, instead of going, well, I wonder who's going to be on the team. Like, oh, now I'm really excited. Nope, now it's just, here you go. We're just going to do the money shot right now.
Yeah. And so now Vince McMahon puts himself in the match and tells Rock he might be unemployed after Survivor Series. More to come on Vince McMahon in that match later, Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Rock says he is still WWF forever. Vince says Rock should go apologize to Y2J. Y2J attacked The Rock and they argue. Why would Rock go and try and apologize to Jericho? Really?
Yeah, go say you're sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy. Recap of Lita versus Stacy and Matt Hardy. Lita is talking to Jeff backstage. Matt comes in and interrupts him. He says he's sick of apologizing and it was an accident. And Jeff's like, yeah, man, just calm down. Be cool.
Nothing like watching these two have issues when we know what would happen in a few years. Yep. Like in hindsight. Oh, man.
And now we have a 6-person tag match. It's the Hardy Boys and Lita versus the Dudley Boys and Stacy. Devon and Matt start. Clothesline by Devon. Moonsault by Lita to Devon. Bubba pulls Lita's hair. A tag to Stacy. So God. we have Lita mixing it up with the men here, Jeremy.
I thought it was impressive, Lita hitting her moves on the guys, and the guys, they didn't have a problem. Like, they didn't undersell it, they didn't oversell it. They let her hang with them. That's awesome. It looked great. Yeah.
Clothesline to Stacy, tag to Bubba and Jeff, drop kick by Jeff, Bubba bomb to Jeff, whisper in the wind to Bubba, DDT to Bubba by Matt. Leg drop to Devon. A cat fight ensues. Jeff misses Bubba with the poetry in motion. Lita hits the Hurricanrana to Bubba. Matt goes into Lita, and then a 3D to Matt for the win. For this matchup, I gave it 2.5. The pace picked up towards the end here as well. Like you said, with Lita hitting that moonsault on Devon, very paced tag match here.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good, considering Stacy was involved in it. Thankfully, she didn't have to do that much. It only went 5:43, and you're right, man. There was a lot of action. People were coming in and hitting everything, and I went 2.5 out of 5. I thought it was good. I thought it was good stuff. I also, is it me or is the Bubba Bomb like the dumbest move? Because like, you're giving your opponent the atomic drop, but you're also taking the exact same bump. So what's the advantage here? At least with like the suplex, like you're taking a bump, but the idea with the suplex is you're whipping the person back and you're slamming them with all your force. So yeah, you're taking a hit, but they're taking a harder hit. But with the Bubba Bomb, you're both taking the exact same thing. So what's the point?
I don't know.
I hate that move.
I thought it was fun until like you put it in perspective, but like it's like, oh snap, like you're just breaking his tailbone.
Or what is it? The coccyx, I think, is what another name for tailbone is. The coccyx.
Yep. Kurt Angle is backstage and he answers why he joined the Alliance. He says he's still the fans' Olympic hero and he's an American Olympic hero. Kurt wants to be a winner. He goes He goes over the WWF teammates and why they are losers and don't know how to work as a team. Kurt says there is only one man who wants to be a winner, and that's Stone Cold. Kurt says that Stone Cold will get the job done, and he's a leader, and he's going to be a winner at Survivor Series, and he's going to get the job done. Kurt says he still has his integrity, intensity, and intelligence and will still be employed after Survivor Series. And then he's seen with Stone Cold and Shane McMahon as they hug Kurt Angle as well as this segment ends.
It was such an odd, like, the 3-shot where Austin and Shane come in. It's so odd. It's just an odd scene, you know? I don't know, man. I think Kurt just should have come out and said, I'm going to keep my job. So that's why I joined. Instead, it's all this, you know, but he's not wrong in what, you know, Undertaker's lost, Kane's lost, Rock and Jericho can't stop fighting each other. I don't like how he dismisses the whole thing with Austin. Like, does Austin play fair? No, but he gets the job done. And that's who he wants on his team. Like, that dude, seriously, you just fought this guy for the WWF title for 2.5 months. Like, it still doesn't make any sense to me, but you know, it is what it is. I do like that shot at the end. It's kind of creepy looking the way they step in. It's almost like they brainwashed Kurt or something.
Notice how in that promo, Kurt Angle does not bring up Unforgiven.
No, it doesn't mention that at all. God, no.
He's like, oh yeah, Austin won at SummerSlam, King of the Ring, WrestleMania. I mean, I might have beaten him at Unforgiven, but he came back and he won that title right from me. And that's when I knew if I can't beat him, join him. You know, Jesus, yeah. So, Kurt Angle explains why he joined the Alliance. And now we have a WCW U.S. title match. It is Kane versus Kurt Angle. Kane beats on Angle. Kane misses an elbow. German suplex to Kane. Big boot to Kurt. Kane counters the ankle lock. Kane takes Kurt into the crowd. Stone Cold appears and hits Kane with a chair. Undertaker chases Austin off. Insecurity by Kane to Kurt. Backdrop by Kane. 4 suplexes by Kane. Flying clothesline by Kane. Chokeslam to Kurt, but Kane can't make the pin. Ankle lock to Kurt. Angle counters a tombstone to an ankle lock, and then Kane taps out. For this matchup, I went 2.5.
I went 3 because there are a few reasons. One, Kane hit an enziguri and it looked good. Holy crap. Good for him, you know. I also like that Angle got out of the tombstone, and when he got Kane in the ankle lock, it took a what I would call a long time. You know, obviously it's a few seconds, but he fought it off as long as he could. And it went 8:49, and this was not a boring match. Like, they didn't have any rest holds, they didn't slow down. I like that Austin and Taker came in, but that didn't really decide in the finish. That was just kind of mid-match. I thought this was better than their WrestleMania 18 match they would have the following year, because it was a definitive win for Angle, and it was good. I thought it was really good. So 3 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, I like the flying. I always like the flying elbow too, and it took Kane a while to tap, and he was just trying to hold on, like you said, for a really long time. It looked like he was going to get to the rope, but Angle pulled it back as well.
It makes him look strong in defeat. And Kane needs that because he hasn't done that well lately, right? He's not like that monster that he's supposed to be. So at least even in defeat, he still looks tough, right? That's good stuff.
Yeah. Regal is in his office, and Tajiri and Tori come in. Regal offers Tajiri a spot with the Alliance. Tajiri says no. Regal says that Tajiri has made an enemy, and he beats on Tajiri, and then Tajiri gets one stiff kick into Regal as Carnage breaks loose here.
I like that Regal was like, I miss spending time with you, Tajiri. Like, that's not something you'd ever hear that guy say.
I know. I miss spending time with you, Tajiri.
But I am excited at the idea of these two having some matches together. So hopefully we get some good long, highly contested matches between Regal and Tajiri. Hopefully that happens, right?
Yeah. I'm not gonna say what it covers up just yet, but it does cover. It's covering a feud that should have happened at Survivor Series, basically.
Absolutely.
Or a unification match that should have happened that doesn't, as they say. Yeah, Stone Cold and Kurt Angle are celebrating backstage. Stone Cold says he loves Kurt. Austin gives Kurt a 316 hat, and it's almost like the backstage segment with the cowboy hats all over again. And then Stone Cold gives Kurt Angle his medals from the Detroit River, Jeremy.
Yeah, he went and fished them out.
He fished them out of the Detroit River. Wonder how long that took.
Oh my God. I loved it when Angle's like, he tells Austin he loves him too, and Austin gets this like sick look on his face. He's like totally disgusted. And Angle's got
the one who can love, not you.
Yeah, and he's got that goofy 316 hat on. Like, that's one of the worst poorly designed Austin hats. It's just so ugly. And but Kurt wears it with pride. Oh, it's fantastic. It's like, it doesn't make sense that Angle joined with Austin, but man, I love that they're back together from earlier on in the year when they were doing all that comedy stuff. Like, it's great. They didn't miss a beat.
Yeah. Oh my God! If you thought that was insane, here comes the next segment with them as well. But before we get there, Coach is backstage with The Rock. Rock tells Jericho to just bring it and challenges Jericho one more time to a WCW title match on Raw. So The Rock is trying to end this feud for once and for all, but we have to wait for Jericho's response since he is the champion. What'd you think of that one, Jeremy?
I get why they would want to do it on Raw, but I got to thinking, I'm like, you've got Rebellion coming up, which obviously they don't hype like at all. But man, that would have been a cool thing to do, hey guys, we do have another pay-per-view coming up, but I understand it. But I do like that they want to get all this infighting out of the way, right? And straighten up the team, everybody get on the same page. So it makes you look forward to Raw for sure.
I don't think they were going to do it at Rebellion. I mean, Rebellion is its own pay-per-view to the UK audience. I don't even think it was available for American audiences to watch on pay-per-view.
Yeah, I don't think it was at all. I really don't.
So I wouldn't give like that title match away to the UK audience, no offense, but it's like you really wanted that huge Raw rating, like at least the main event to have a huge number.
Yeah, it does make sense to have it on Raw and to get that good a rating for it.
Yeah. So Stone Cold and Kurt Angle are backstage, and RVD comes in. Stone Cold and Kurt Angle mock on and berate RVD for losing to Edge. RVD says he's got it taken care of, but they're like, "Oh, you're a loser. Yeah, you're a loser." And RVD's like, "Whatever, like you guys can go love each other somewhere else."
Whatever.
Yeah.
Let me ask you before we move on from this. Now, at this show, they did you want to talk about the European title, what happened here with that, or do you want to wait to talk about it on Raw?
Oh, I'll wait because we don't even see Christian here.
Right. Yeah. It happens here, but we don't find anything out about it. So we'll wait then. We won't.
Because I knew Bradshaw. When we're at that backstage, Bradshaw does not even have the European title with him.
No.
At the APA table, he only has it with him in the locker room when the Jericho's holding that meeting, and that's it.
Yeah. And then it's just poof, gone.
Okay, yeah. So again, title switching, and Bradshaw was like, I don't even care about the European title. If you wouldn't have even remembered that Bradshaw had won the European title if it wasn't around him.
Makes the whole him winning it seem pointless. Like what was the point?
He's not even carrying the belts.
Yeah, it doesn't even. And I don't know if I mentioned on the show before, but my biggest pet peeve, man, is when you're a champion, if you're on camera, you have that belt. That is your belt. You need to, own it, respect it, build it up, hype it up. If you come out without it, what the hell are you doing even holding it? Like that, that angers me to no end. Even in the Royal Rumble, I don't care. Bring your title out. That's your belt. You represent whatever division that is. And it just pisses me off to no end when guys come out without a title. Because I'm like, you're devaluing the title. Like you said, we wouldn't even remember that he had it had we not seen it that one time. He didn't defend it on TV before he lost it. He didn't even get to lose it on TV.
No.
Ridiculous.
I mean, it's like, do they not care about Bradshaw? Or do they not care about the European title?
Or Christian? Who do they not care about the most, All three get buried.
Yeah, basically. And then also there's no, except for Booker T and RVD, there are no superstars from WCW or ECW on this show. Who are homemade WCW and ECW stars.
Man, you're right. I didn't even realize that. I'm looking over my notes. I'm like, you're right.
Nope.
Holy crap.
Forget it. Yeah, they come on next Raw. Don't worry about that, only for show and tell. Yeah. But let's move on. We got the WWF Hardcore title match. It's Rob Van Dam versus Edge. Both men take each other down. RVD throws a chair at Edge. Edge bulldogs RVD into the chair. Clothesline to the outside. Moonsault to Edge. Edge spears RVD. Test comes out. RVD gets thrown to the outside. Test gives Edge a big boot. 5-star frog splash to Edge for the win. For this matchup, I gave it 2 stars. It was all right. Test now starting a feud with Edge.
I give it 2 as well. Was the Hardcore belt on the line, or did I miss it? Because I don't think it was on the line, right?
It was on the line. Michael Cole says tonight RVD puts his Hardcore title on the line against Edge. So it was on the line, yeah.
So now the Edge RVD match for Raw makes sense that when Edge's belt was on the line, he got the win. When RVD's belt's on the line, he got the win, but it was a Gaga finish. So that makes sense. But I don't mind Test and Edge. Test is a wrestler I always liked, so I'm fine with that he comes out. He obviously wants the IC belt, so yeah, go for it, man. So 2 out of 5 for me.
Yep. Coach interviews Jericho. Jericho is going to give his answer to The Rock man to man. So Jericho actually being a man and saying, I'm going to give the Rock my answer personally to him. But instead of giving him an answer, Jericho just attacks The Rock. But I do think that Jericho said yes, so we're going to get that match, Jeremy, on Raw.
Seems like actions speak louder than words in this particular. I like that we saw Jericho go straight to Rock's locker room. Like he just walked down there and just started throwing bones.
I did too. I loved it. Yep.
That was great.
And
here we go. This next match, this is the one I've been waiting for. These 2 guys are going to be awesome, right?
Yeah. Well, awesome. Yeah. We have a matchup here. It's William Regal versus Tajiri. Tajiri goes into the post, handspring elbow to Regal, a neck breaker to Tajiri for the win. That's not even is that the Regal stretch? I don't even know. Is that the Regal stretch, or is the Regal stretch the power bomb?
No, the Regal stretch is the
reverse neck breaker, right?
No, the Regal stretch is the STF.
It's a submission move. Oh, okay. So Regal does this weird.
This is a Regal cutter, is what I found online. It was called. They don't say that on the show, but I found it online when I was doing research. Because I'm like, what the hell does he call? Because he did it more than once. But yeah, it's called the Regal cutter.
Okay, it's a Regal cutter. Yeah, it's like a backwards neck breaker, like
Yeah.
with a reverse. Yeah. For this matchup, I gave it a star.
Yeah, 1 out of 5. What a joke. A minute and 49 seconds. A minute and 49 seconds. You guys really couldn't give these two 5 minutes? You got to be shitting me. What a waste.
Yeah, and then Regal gives to Jerry a power bomb.
Yeah, just squashing the champion. Just, yeah, well, whatever.
And I think even to Jerry comes off his WCW Cruiserweight title.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah, he just buried the champion. I mean, I'm glad the belt wasn't on the line. But
No.
yeah, he just totally buried the champion in a minute and 49 seconds. And you just know if they give these two guys even 5 minutes, we're going to get at least a 2 out of 5 match, right? You give them 10 minutes, I guarantee you we're getting 3 to 3.5. I mean, it would be awesome. But nope, can't have that. We can't have nothing nice around here.
No. Vince is backstage getting The Undertaker fired up for his matchup versus Stone Cold, which is for the WWF title.
What a huge match. With no build and no fanfare. What a huge match.
Yeah, and last week we said, well, why does it say The Undertaker's fighting Stone Cold? It was a week off, Jeremy. So Peacock got it wrong.
Yeah,
like,
I noticed that.
The right contents.
I noticed that when I was reading. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Like, Peacock messed it up.
They messed it up last week, and now they got it right this time, but they don't even say that, Stone Cold versus The Undertaker, WWF title. They're like, Angle joins the alliance.
Yeah.
Which is true. He did give his answer.
Yeah, they totally spoiled that. If you like, I don't need to watch now, do I?
No. Taker tells Vince to kiss his ass, basically. So, again, Undertaker not being polite to Vince and being a teammate.
He's not really showing that he's there, right? Yeah. I do like I'm gonna, or what does he say? You can kiss my ass for doubting my loyalty, and now I'm gonna go kick Austin's ass. Like, okay, buddy.
Yep. So we have our WWF title match in our main event. It's Stone Cold versus Undertaker. Undertaker comes out. Austin then ambushes him from behind. So Stone Cold takes out Undertaker right away. Taker goes into the post. Austin tries to start Taker's motorcycle. Taker beats down Austin. Taker tries to run over Austin. Taker falls with Austin in the crowd. Yeah, go ahead. What do you got on that one?
That was awesome. Like they're going full tilt. And you know what? The bell hasn't rung yet.
Nope.
So all of it's perfectly legal.
Yep. Boots, they brawl in the crowd. Boots of Austin. Austin goes into the table. Old school to Austin. Taker counters a stunner. Austin escapes the last ride. Boot to Austin. Stunner to Taker, but he rolls to the outside. Taker goes into the table. Austin beats on Taker. Big boot to Austin. Austin gets launched into Hebner. Chair shots to Taker. Taker hits Austin with the chair. Clothesline to Taker. But Angle comes in to beat on Taker. And then Taker wins by disqualification. Austin and Angle beat down Taker and a stunner. Then Shane comes in. Shane comes with a cooler of beer, and Austin, Shane, and Kurt Angle are drinking beer and celebrating as SmackDown goes off the air. For this matchup, I'll give it 2 3/4, Jeremy.
I went 3 out of 5 because I thought it was I thought it started off just red hot, going all over the crowd, man. They were and what I liked, I mentioned earlier, what I liked is the bell didn't ring. So they were perfectly like it made sense that they were able to get away with all that stuff. I thought Taker did a really good job of really bringing it, and not to say that these guys don't bring it, but it is SmackDown. It is a tape show, so I could see why they might, take some shortcuts here and there. But I thought they went full tilt for the whole thing. Gaga finish, of course. Undertaker's not winning the title here. He did get busted open, so I thought it was good. So I went 3 out of 5. I thought it was pretty good for a TV main event with a DQ finish. It's kind of lame finish, but it makes sense, and this just builds momentum for the Alliance. They look even stronger than they did before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a huge send-off that the Alliance has the advantage over Team WWF going into Survivor Series, that they are really, on top and are working as a team, and they have a full leader and full confidence of their leader, Stone Cold Steve Austin, with the help of Kurt Angle, Rob Van Dam, Booker T, and Shane McMahon. The Alliance does seem unstoppable, while the WWF is crumbling because Chris Jericho and The Rock cannot get along, Jeremy.
I think this week was more about, with Raw and SmackDown, was more about building the Alliance. Like Angle turns, joins the Alliance, and then tonight Rock and Jericho are gonna fight. The 3 guys standing tall over the Undertaker. Undertaker's down. This whole week was just about building the Alliance up. I gave it overall a 2.5 out of 5. It was a good episode of SmackDown. Again, not boring. I watched it all in one go, but it really was about the Alliance, and there's a lot of good intrigue as we head towards next week's Raw. So everything's looking up for the Alliance. They might have a shot of winning this winner take all.
Yeah, just wait. It goes downhill on this episode of Raw. The next episode of Raw, it goes oh, they really built us up only to kick us down, really. Well, Jeremy, that's going to do it from us here tonight on covering the Raw and SmackDown. But before we go, do you have anything that you want to direct the listeners to? Jeremy, do you have anything that you want to direct the listeners to?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry about that. It lagged out on me.
Yeah.
OCPgaming.podbean.com. We have the co-op show I think we're doing about once a month now. We have React, where we watch video game related movies and TV shows. And I also have a weekly Reading Reddit, where we answer video game questions. Also, OCPWrestling.podbean.com. By the time you guys hear this, we're going to be right at the end of season 1, and we're going to kick off season 2. We're going to have Bret Hart. We're going to continue our look at Bret Hart and WCW. Survivor Series watch-alongs. We also do Saturday night's main event. But for season 2, we're going to be covering all of the WCW pay-per-views from 1995. We're going to be doing in-depth look at each event as we make our way through. It's the first time we're going to have WCW pay-per-views in with no WWF content on it. So it's going to be a good time. So get over there and listen to us. We're international. We just added Hong Kong. I got somebody in Hong Kong downloading episodes every day. So I don't know if they understand me, but shout outs to them, But yeah, check us out.
Yeah, I mean, it's great that you're opening up your podcast with 1995 WCW pay-per-views, because it almost intertwines with the No-So project JT is doing, No-So 95, where we're taking a look back at the 30-year anniversary of 1995 as well, Jeremy.
Yeah, I think they just did a rebooking SummerSlam 95, which was really a really great episode. If you guys haven't heard it yet, get over there and check it out. They did good stuff there.
They did, and also they're doing. We recorded a watch along of Bash at the Beach 1995 as well, so that'll be dropping soon.
Yeah, I got to sit in on that for a few minutes. I thought everyone was doing a really good job on that. It was good stuff.
Yep. Yeah. As for me, you can mostly find me on the Place to Be Nation wrestling feed. I have this show and another show called Extreme Resurrection, where me and Steve Riddle are looking back on ECW on the Sci-Fi Network from 2006 to 2010. On our last episode, we just ended the Chavo Guerrero versus CM Punk feud, where Chavo Guerrero defeats CM Punk for a third time for the ECW title, and then CM Punk earns a Money in the Bank qualifying matchup, and he wins that, so he'll be in the Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania 24 as we're hitting March of 2008. Also, Chavo's ECW title will be on the line at WrestleMania 24, where whoever wins the ECW title number one contenders battle royal will face Chavo Guerrero at WrestleMania 24 for the ECW title. And also, you can find me on the Place to Be Nation Pop feed. I have a podcast called Pop Goes Degrassi, where me and John Kesselika are looking back at Degrassi Next Generation. We are in season 2, and we just covered episode 7 and 8 called Shout. Paige goes to a party where she meets a boy named Dean, but will her actions have consequences? And there's like a B plot where two freshmen can't share a locker together. It's very weird, but mostly it focuses on Paige and her decisions at the party and what the consequences might be for someone. Well, that's going to do it from us here tonight. I want to thank Jeremy Nichols for covering this week with me. Thank you, Jeremy.
Always a pleasure to be here, my friend.
He's Jeremy Nichols. I'm James Gruenberg, and we will see you next time. Be prepared as we, the nation, end the invasion.